I know there are stinging ants in here, but I don't have any gloves left. There they are right there. Ah! Anyhow, you haven't really moved until you've moved your compost pile. This is basically the last thing. I just moved the plants. Almost all the plants have gone over to the new location, and now here I am trying to move the compost without gloves with stinging insects. I'm gonna use a fork, but look at all this compost. This is what I dumped out of this big bin here to finish off, and then it grew a crop of pumpkins out of it, and now it is the most exceptionally finished material. It is really, really beautiful. This is coconut husk, which takes a long time normally to break down, but I often put this stuff in my pots. And this has been sitting here, and with the 80-something degree weather all the time and the almost constant rain, just the biological activity has really broken it down nicely. Check this out. This is why I stick this stuff. If you've heard of coconut coir, you can get it out of coconut husks, but if you just let the husks rot down, or if you stick them in the bottom of pots, or if you throw them in the compost pile like I did, it's a really nice addition, and it holds a lot of water. And so it's mostly compost now. Just by busting it up like that, it already looks like potting soil. Look at this gorgeous finished compost. This stuff here, this is, oh, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months now. This is like gold. Look at how perfect it is. And this is from continuous composting, you know, where we just threw everything from the house into a big bin and just let it go, and we didn't worry about trying to mix it or anything. We just let nature do what it was going to do. We had some leaves, we threw the leaves in. We had some kitchen scraps, we threw the kitchen scraps in. When I cut grass, I'd rake up the grass and throw it in. You can't tell what anything was anymore. It's just compost. I also threw in some clay as I went, and I threw in some biochar. There's a little biochar right there to soak up all the good stuff. And the clay helps the humus stick around, particularly if you're in a sandy soil, which is not really a problem here, but in Florida, throwing it in is a good idea. But I mean, this is a way to do it. You're not trying to say, oh man, I've got to get my 25-to-1 ratio correct and put everything in all at the same time. It's, you know, do it as you go. If you've got the waste, throw it in a spot. I didn't even worry about turning it, except once, and then I decided I wasn't going to do that anymore. It's too much work, but it breaks down anyways. So you fill your bin up, and when your bin is full of whatever's coming out of the house and that kind of thing, then you turn around and empty it out at some point when it gets full and dump it someplace and let it finish off. And it finishes off fantastically. Look at all this compost. This is marvelous stuff. I got a system now. End of a palm frond, quarter of a coconut husk, and this is nature, man. It's like everything we need is in nature. There's 3 bags. I've got more in the car, a couple more under the house, and I don't know if I'm going to deal with this. As much as I'd like to empty it and sort it all, you can see how swampy wet it is. This is a lot of weight here, and there's some fresher stuff, and I'm sure it's got maggots and all that kind of thing in there. New house is not really amenable to this, but maybe someday I'll come back. I don't know. Or maybe we'll just leave it here and the landlord will feed the trees. Anyhow, we got this done. Feeling good. Found another, oh, you know what that is. If you're a parent, you probably have these in your compost. Yeah. So we dealt with what we needed to deal with, moving the compost, feeling good. Now I gotta get some other stuff done. So until next time, may your thumbs always be green.
I went to see David the Good. We listened to Portishead and drank spiced rum.
Look at that. It's a compost scooper, available. I'll put some on my website. I'll put a link. You get a small percentage.